Hi, and welcome to ECCB Connects. Do you own land? Are you planning to acquire land or property? This week, we'll speak with Raemona Frederick, Senior Legal Officer, about the ECCU Electronic Conveyancing System project, which is designed to make land ownership and transfer easier for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's coming!
It's coming!
It's coming!
It's coming!
It's coming!
It's coming!
Raemona, welcome to ECCB Connects.
Thanks for having me, Karina.
Now, the ECCB has embarked on an exciting project in the form of the Electronic Conveyancing System project. Tell us, what was the thinking behind this system?
So this project, Karina, would have actually started since about January 2014. Coming out of the financial crisis, the Monetary Council would have noted that there were several issues as it relates to land security and land transactions, and they would have formed a high-level committee of individuals with the purpose of answering the question whether or not the region could benefit from a harmonized system as it related to land transactions and land registration. And that committee would have comprised individuals from all over the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, including land registrars, would have had representatives from the ECCU, the OECS Bar Association, the ECCU Bankers Association, as well as representatives from the ECCB who would have participated in it.
Raemona, from what you've said, we have quite a diverse mix of experts who would have undertaken this task by the Monetary Council. Tell us, what was the work of the committee? What did that entail?
So the committee would have engaged with each other as it relates to the differing systems that exist within the ECCU. Currently, there are two different systems as it relates to land registration within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. There's what is considered to be the registered land system, which Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia and Montserrat have. We also have the unregistered land system, which is St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada. And then we have both Dominica as well as St. Kitts and Nevis having both a registered land system and an unregistered land system. So you could see the diversity that exists. And those were the discussions that were had with the committee. Indeed,
The variance of systems. Coming out of this work, what were the recommendations? Did they answer the question, is a harmonized land system required within the ECCU?
So the committee did make a recommendation to the Monetary Council in their report, which would have indicated that the ECCU can benefit from having a harmonized land registration system. So the system that I would have spoken about earlier, which is a registered land system, would have been the main recommendation of the committee. So based on the recommendation of the committee, the ECCB would have pioneered in November of 2017 the Electronic Conveyancing System project, which we're discussing today.
Excellent. So let's talk about the project itself. We've gone and we've understood what the genesis behind it was. Let's talk about the project. What work is being done and who is actually carrying out the work of the project?
So the central bank would have actually engaged the services of a legal drafting team, a consultancy team, led by Mr. John Ilu Charles of Dominica. He would have also been supported by Mr. Anthony Commodore, as well as Ms. Catherine Foston. Both Mr. Charles and Mr. Commodore are both legal drafters with a number of years of experience, and Ms. Catherine Foston is also a registrar, former registrar, who has significant experience as it relates to land transactions in Dominica. So those three persons would have formed the consultancy team who would have led as it related to this project, and of course engaging with the ECCB and collaborating with the ECCB on this matter. This project would have actually entailed three different phases. There was a desk review phase, there was a field research phase, and there was a legislative drafting phase. We've actually arrived at the end of the project, and right now we're embarking upon an intensive program of consultations. So as it related to both the desk review as well as the field research phase, the team would have actually had 2 meetings with chief parliamentary counsels and legal drafters representing the governments of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union as well as the land registrars of the ECCU. And those meetings were geared towards discussing the findings of the consultancy team and also discussing the draft bill. Those meetings would have taken place in March 2018, and the second one would have taken place in August 2018.
Raemona, out of these engagements and consultations, what would you say were the main outcomes and findings?
Well, definitely the main outcome has been the draft harmonized land registration bill, which is a piece of legislation that captures all of the issues that would have been raised by the committee, as well as the results of the research by the team throughout the ECCU.
A lot of work has taken place in terms of the conveyancing system. What are the benefits for the people of the ECCU? What can they expect?
So as it relates to the benefits from this project, it's a situation where we now have a harmonized land registration system throughout the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, and that is expected to radically transform our economies. And it's a situation where we also expect to have an improved doing business ranking throughout the ECCU, because if you want to do a land transaction in Dominica, it will be the exact same system or very similar system to do a land transaction in St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, pick an island. You'll be able to be familiar with what the system will be. For the people of the ECCU, land ownership is very important. Our heritage and our culture speak to that. And this harmonized land registration bill will allow for easier transactions relating to land, transferring land, as well as being able to transfer land for generations to come.
Raemona, indeed the electronic conveyancing system is something that the people of the ECCU can look forward to. Tell us what's next, what's on the agenda in terms of the advancement of the project.
The consultancy team has delivered on the final report and the draft harmonized land registration bill, which is the final outcome of the electronic conveyancing system project. And that bill, as well as the report, is available on the ECCB's website for consultation and for feedback. We've also circulated those documents to all the stakeholders that we would have engaged in since November of last year, and we look forward to receiving their feedback because of the significance and importance. We will not be able to succeed without their input.
Raemona, you've indicated that the draft bill is on the ECCB's website as well as available in member countries for public consultation. How long do persons have to provide their feedback on the bill?
We would be grateful to receive feedback before the end of February 2019. So we're giving persons a nice window for them to be able to discuss it, to look at it, and to be able to supply that feedback to the central bank. We'll definitely look forward to receiving that input.
Raemona, thanks for speaking with us today on ECCB Connects.
Thank you for having me, Karina. It's been a pleasure.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
To view any episode of ECCB Connects anytime, any place, at your convenience, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn at ECCB Connects. And now, this week's financial tip.
Understand the difference between niceties and necessities, and focus on your needs rather than your wants. Be willing to forego the things you really don't need.
That's it for this week's episode of ECCB Connects. Join us next week when we'll bring you another program to share with you who we are, what we do, and how we serve you.